Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Good Lord, did I have to think about that? Oh, I did it again. Oops. I did it again with my glasses. I know, right? All the things over there. I tell you. I know. I know it doesn't make a difference, but for some reason, I love these for the perspective. So, there you go. But anyways, let's just start with the Moonology deck really quick. Today is the actual full moon, and it is the full moon in Sagittarius, which I read yesterday. I pulled that card. I should have pulled it today, but you know, everything happens for a reason, I believe. So, good morning, Monica. So, I figure we'll just pull a quick moon card since today is a full moon. And it doesn't matter what card comes up, okay? Like I said, yesterday I did the full moon in Sagittarius, which is exactly what yesterday was. And then I'll get right into gratitude number 5. So, a new start is coming. New moon. How funny, because the full moon will actually be waning into a new moon. So, let's see. Let's see what this says. Just the new moon. Here we go. There is a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed, and you are on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way, be that on a new or better course or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. What I actually find interesting about this new moon card before I continue is I already know the quote for gratitude today. And I'm super duper excited because they kind of go together. So I know we'll get there in a second, but I'm getting excited about this. But so the attune to the moon, here is your affirmation. I'll see it when I believe it. But you know what? Don't say it in the way that we've traditionally been taught. Yeah, I'll see it when I believe it. Just say, how about I'm seeing it, so I'm believing it. Even if it hasn't happened yet. When you set intentions or manifestations, a lot of times it's good to actually be grateful for it before you receive it, so that the universe and your higher power, your source, whoever that might be, whether it's God or somebody else, knows that it's something that they must put into your life because you're showing gratitude for it. It may not show up the way you expect it to. It may come in many various different forms, but watch for signs, watch for, whatever it is that could be happening, and just stay open to it, okay? So, additional meanings for this card. A new start is on its way. Good morning, baby sibling. You will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. And forget about the past. I can't tell you how much I really needed this card. And the gratitude quote for today. I'm so excited about this. How they go together. Since I have a couple of people that just jumped on, I'm going to reread the other part really quick. But I had a total meltdown last night. It was a soul cry I think I really, really needed. But it was one of those cries where you're crying so hard you can't even breathe. And I'm grateful for older sibling for being there, because I walked out of my room, I walked into her room, and I just unloaded. I don't even think I made it all the way into her room because I couldn't see past my tears. It was that bad. And I know sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that clearance, that stuff to just get all that, whatever residual residue, icky stuff, just up and out. But also it's, sometimes we get that way when we hit so fast, we hit bottom. And I really felt like that's what happened yesterday. I felt like I hit bottom so hard, like I cracked my head open. And it hurt that much. So to get this card today and to know what today's quote for gratitude is, plus something that happened this morning with a friend messaging me and saying, hey, jump onto this thing. It's a conference. It's really cool. And it was exactly what I needed this morning. Very spiritually guided. It was that something, a pick me up, that vibey pick me up that I really needed. So this is your validation, okay? If you're struggling right now, whatever it is, across the board, the new moon is a time of new beginnings. And like I said, it's kind of interesting that this is the card that showed up today on the full moon in Sagittarius. Because I think what it's telling you is, look, shoot for this. Today, write down all the things you want to just not think about anymore. Just get rid of. That doesn't mean you won't be thinking about it. But you're making an active effort to heal this. Things you want healed, things you want to move forward from. Set an intention, and give it to your source, your higher power, the universe, the full moon, and the full moon. So them and the full moon. Because the full moon's going to start as of tomorrow, which will be the third day in the full moon cycle. It'll start waning. And what it is, it's a time of release. It's a time of letting go. And you don't have to be metaphysically minded to understand that it's a waning cycle. The full moon is going away. And you want to release all this stuff so that when you get to the new moon, you can have those new beginnings. You can set those intentions to wax towards the full moon to help them come to fruition, to say, hey, this is what I'm feeling and this is what, I need to happen in my life. But most importantly, and this is the biggest ingredient in this whole recipe, you have to have faith. You have to trust it and you have to believe it. Yesterday I was just not in a good place. And that was before the whole soul cry stuff. I could feel myself going further and further, deeper and deeper, just into worry and fear and freaking out about things that are seemingly out of my control, but not really. And I just remember I started praying. And then I asked older sibling to pray for me because we were just coming back from running a couple of errands. And as we pulled in, I see this tiny little bird just sitting next to this car in an open parking stall. Because, we live in condos, so it's like this nice little area. And I was pulling into the carport, and then the bird flew away. But I couldn't really see what kind of bird it was. But then as I was walking back, it just landed in my path. I mean, usually birds fly away from you, but it landed in my path, kind of did one of those bird head movie things, and then moved up to the stoop of the neighbor across the way. And there were two of them, and they're mourning doves. Now, a lot of times people will look at mourning not as in good mourning, but as in sorrow and mourning, as sorrowful birds. But they're actually symbols as well of peace, trust, love, faith, and believing. And I was like, those are all the things I needed. And I felt like it was the sign I was getting. And not only was it one, but it was two. And I've noticed, before I looked them up this time, I've noticed that there have been times when I've gone through difficult times and I have prayed that I've seen these doves. And I don't see them that often around here. And I'm being honest, I don't. They obviously are around here somewhere, but it's very rare and infrequent when they pop up in this little complex. So I took that as my sign. And then as I was kind of just looking up going, thank you, I see like 3 hummingbirds in this really large tree. I've never seen hummingbirds flying that high. And I thought, okay, everything's going to be okay. And then I fell apart that night because other stuff started happening. And I think it broke me. And I think maybe that's what I needed. I needed something to break me so that I could put myself back together the way I need to be put back together and move forward. Now, whoever you choose to pray to, that's your choice. I'm not going to tell you that. That's your source, your higher power, the universe, whoever it is you trust. But just know that with this card, it's talking about new beginnings. So, the teaching. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time when the moon is invisible and a time of rebirth. It's a time that people do their work, making wishes and laying down intentions for the new cycle, an intensely magical time when it's easier to pierce the veil to other worlds. So it says witches, but I know that's not going to jive with everyone. So, but you know what? In the spirit of how it's intended in this book, it's a time that witches do their work. Now, you may not consider yourself one. You may not be one. Don't be afraid of the word. Okay? It's just another form of well, for lack of a better word, religion of sorts. It's just people that their higher power is nature. And some of them do have other deities and whatnot, but don't look at it as a bad thing. Okay, don't think about what the movies tell you or all these other things. It's just generally people who would be stereotyped as that if they do not choose to be called that. Because lots of people want to be called different things. I mean, I personally don't care what people call me, but I know my heart, and I know how spiritual I am. I know that at my very big spiritual table, God sits at the front. I know, hey, I grew up Catholic. Some things don't go away that easy. So, but if you judge it, it's not going to work. So that's why we need to not judge it. But just really quick. So I'm going to reread this part really quick again, and then we're going to move on to gratitude. There is a yes coming your way. This is one of those most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed, and you are on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way, be that on a new or better course, or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. That's exciting, guys. That is super exciting. So that's your full moon card for today, which was ironically the new moon. But I think that's what it's telling you. You have to release all that crap so that you can get to the new stuff. So this is why I'm excited. Today's quote is from Maya Angelou. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. Now, people are probably like, you were excited about that quote? It's like 2 sentences. But think about it. It goes right with the new moon. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. And then, oh, that's funny, because right underneath it, I swear to you, I wrote this a couple days ago. It says clean slate each day. And just now we read on that card about a clean slate. Wipe your slate clean. That's what the full moon is for. As it begins to wane towards the new moon, you can wipe your slate clean. Does it wipe away all the problems and everything that might be following you? No. But it could give you the mindset you need to move forward and through those things, to power through those things. So give yourself that opportunity. Again, this is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. Every day is a new opportunity. Every day is a day to be grateful and thankful. Even if you feel like you are going to just explode or fall down, throw a tantrum, roll up in a ball and cry all day. It's a new day. And sometimes after we have those big ass cries, sometimes we feel better. I feel dizzy from mine. I feel like kind of hungover from mine, like a soul cry hangover of sorts. But I have a different mindset because I'm determined now. And I didn't lose my way. I just felt stuck. And I think I felt stuck. And I think that's why I needed that soul cry. I'm one of those weird people that sometimes you just need that really good cry to kind of push you over the finish line, right? To get you right there where you need to be, so that you have a clear vision. It's almost, think of it as like, you have really like dirty windows, right? And then all of a sudden it's raining and you're doing the windshield wiper thing and you can see clearly. But it's still kind of hard because it's through, the tears of the sky. but think of it that way. Or, you're just driving, you're like, oh my God, how did my windows get so dusty? We get Santa Ana winds a lot here, so we get a lot of dust and dirt and wind that just blows up and onto cars. So, I mean, you could be in your house, for like 8 hours, come out and it's just like pollen and crap. But you don't really see it until you're driving. You're like, whoa, my windows are not that clean. So you use the windshield wiper fluid stuff and then it's clear. That's kind of the same way that it feels with a soul cry. All of a sudden, everything feels fresh. Or like after a good rain, right? And the grass smells really pretty. Everything starts to turn green. We could really use some rain here, guys. So if you're watching this, please send the vibes to Southern California. Actually, I think all of California, but especially Southern California. We are in severe drought weather now, and we are in year 3 of one. So I know I feel like everybody's trying to bad juju my state, but I'm not going to let it happen. I love this place. I love a lot of places, but this will always be my home. But no matter where I go in the world, so it's very important to me and very special to me. But what I like, again, the words just keep hitting me really, really tough and right between the eyes. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. And I remember saying yesterday, you're going to love today's quote. There's so many different directions you can go with it. And there really is. We can wake up in the morning and we can kind of just go about our lives. Or we can wake up in the morning and we can be grateful for that morning. You know, there's something I say every morning that I got from somewhere, and I cannot remember where I got it from. But I wake up and I try to remember to say this every day. And it doesn't always come out the same way because sometimes you're just waking up. But I just say, thank you for this day. Today is a day of completion. Or no, yeah, see, I'm tripping over myself now. But, oh, I know. So it's like, thank you for this day. I give thanks for this day of completion. Today is the perfect day. No. Oh, you know what? Forget it. It'll come to my head every time. It's like it's in there, but every time I try to say it, it just goes away. But basically what I'm saying is, thank you for today. Today is a day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle shall follow miracle, and wonders shall never cease. Oh, there it was. So, see, when you stop thinking about it so hard, it happens. And maybe that was meant to happen just now to show you that when you stop overthinking it and you give it a little bit of room to breathe, it just flows. It flows. And sometimes that's what we need. We need that moment to step out of our brains, to stop overthinking, to quiet the chatter, and just give ourselves that chance. This morning, I was watching something online that the link I told you a friend sent me. And what I liked is they were doing a mindfulness exercise. And it was, breathe in like the positivity, right? Doing the breathing in, breathing out. But they're all, put your hand on your heart. And as you exhale, bring your heart out. So it's like, and but it's like, go farther and farther with each breath you take. And then at the end of that, she says, now, when you're doing your inhale, when you're bringing this in, bring it in with gratitude. Fill this area with gratitude and bring it into your heart. And it was actually the heart chakra, so it'd be more towards the middle, even though your heart's over here, but into the heart chakra. So it was like exhale, kind of, we can even do something different where you can exhale and let it go. Right? Have your hands out and let it go. And then inhale and bring in the gratitude. So, and you can do it as often as you want. You can do it, don't hyperventilate, but you can do it as often as you want. Even yesterday, I was watching the funniest movie. It was that one with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. And when she started to overthink, he was just like, you know what? Do me a favor and just take a deep breath. And some people might say, oh yeah, that doesn't calm you. You know what? There are times when we forget, when our anxiety is peaking, or we're just so caught up in the middle of whatever it is that we're thinking that we forget to stop and take a moment, to take a beat. And we have to remember that, because even I've noticed that there are times, even if it takes 2 or 3 breaths, that when I stop and I become mindful of my breathing, I'm reminded of who I am, what my strengths are, and what I'm capable of doing. And sometimes that's what we need. We need that moment to just stop, take a beat, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, inhale the gratitude, and remind ourselves that we are capable of anything. Absolutely capable of anything. So I'm going to read this quote one last time. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. And again, that's Maya Angelou. And take each day as it comes, one moment at a time. You know, in certain programs, they will tell you, you know, and I've just heard this from other people, but you can also read the books. But for a while, you know, because I know the Overeaters Anonymous borrows heavily from the Alcoholics Anonymous, and each one of those anonymous things have one word or have one phrase: one day at a time. One day at a time. And in the Overeaters Anonymous thing that I was following for a while, it really does help. But then I thought there were times when I couldn't take it one day at a time. So I started to take it one moment at a time. Some people will say take it an hour at a time. And sometimes that's not enough. So again, that's when I'll go back to one moment at a time. Try to be as present within yourself that you possibly can be. And when we do that, and we remind ourselves that tomorrow is a new day, we're reminded of the possibilities of what can happen that next day. If you go into it with a negative mindset, chances are it's not going to be the greatest day. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll be a bad day, but it might be harder than you expected it to be. It might be more difficult than you expected it to be. But when you go into it with a different mindset, you're giving yourself that shield and sword of being able to push through and fight through whatever thorns and weeds and crap come your way, because you've equipped yourself with the tools you need to make it through, to push through, to get through the anxiety and the overthinking and the constant chatter in our heads. I mean, my brain, I swear to you, never stops. It's like a freaking circus in there, like a 24-hour. It's like circus in Vegas. Okay, it never sleeps. It never stops. And there are times when I'm able to quiet it down. I don't know how, but I can. And the more I remember to meditate, and the more I remind myself to be mindful, it gets easier to control the chatter. You know, it's like having like an entire classroom full of kids hopped up on caffeine and sugar. But, and I say that from experience, because I've been a child hopped up on caffeine and sugar. When mom and dad aren't looking, eat it all. But, you know, we've all had that experience, whether it's, you know, even as adults, or you don't have to have kids, all right? I have nieces and nephews, so I've seen it. But you know what? Right, we sugar them up and send them home. But I actually don't mind that, although my nephews are so different. They actually try to get me to eat vegetables, so I know I need to take a lot of hints from those kiddos. So, but that does make it easier. But, you know, it is fun to rile kids up sometimes and send them home. I know, isn't that terrible? That's so mean. But baby siblings, like, you were never watching my kids ever. I did pretty good with one of them. You know, we played Legos and had fun, but that's a whole nother story, whole nother day. But just try to remember that, guys, okay? Every day is a wonderful day. And it's a day we've never seen before. It's a day we have not lived. It's a day that we can start anew and start fresh. You know, even if we're faced with the same difficulties, you get to choose how you look at it. You get to choose how you, I love that. She's all, you've watched them both together and they survived. They did. I survived. I get really nervous when I have to watch kids. I'm pretty sure that they babysat me, but I know. But I did. We all lived. Nobody burnt down the house. Both children were accounted for, and none of us were killing each other. So I guess I did good. But and yeah, like I said, jury's out on who was watching who that day. But I love them. I love them with all my heart. They're not my babies, but they're my boys. Those are my boys. Actually, they have a whole community of people who claim these children. So first and foremost, I claim their mother because, you know, she's my baby sibling, and she's actually my cousin, and I love her to bits. So I I've had alone time with her too when she was a kid, and because we're about 15 years apart. So, and I can tell you, this kid probably babysat me that day too. But anyways, I'm going off track here. So thank you for the giggles. I really needed that. But just remember, guys, if you can, be mindful. And if you need, the one thing I like about this whole hand on the chest thing when you're doing mindful breathing is because you're actively participating. You're not just sitting there going, older sibling hates it. She'll tell me to take a deep breath, and I'll be so irritated. I'll just be like, like literally like that, eye roll and all. And she'll look at me and she's like, do you want to try that again? She's like, I didn't say huff. I said, take a deep breath. And then you're kind of embarrassed because you take the deep breath and it works. And you're like, fine, sorry, thank you. But when you do this, you are actively participating in that deep breath. And you're giving yourself the opportunity to bring in that gratitude and that positivity and to release the negativity or whatever it is that feels like it's just, pounding down on you. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Tomorrow we take a break from gratitude. I do recap. We'll do our last, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, we'll do our last Moonology card for tomorrow morning instead of the regular deck we normally used in the mornings, because tomorrow, like I said, is the third day in the full moon cycle. I will go over days 4 and 5, so yesterday and today. Did I say today was day 4 of gratitude? I meant day 5. Today is day 5 of gratitude, but or gratitude number 5. But we'll go over those two, but tomorrow's self-care. Tomorrow's self-care Wednesday, and like I said, I didn't want to just over gratitude everybody, like Monday through Friday of gratitude for 28 days. I thought, let's break it up. So just as a refresher, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, we'll do gratitude. And on Wednesday is Self-Care Wednesday, and Friday is Aloha Oracle Friday. So Aloha Friday with a little bit of an Oracle spin to it. So I hope I see everybody back here tomorrow for Self-Care Wednesday. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. Do the mindful breathing if you need to. Remember, Maya Angelou said it perfectly. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. All right. I'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Facebook Live. It is public. Anybody can watch under Shelly Marie Lucas. Shelly Marie is one word. Don't get it wrong. My mother will haunt you. Or on YouTube where I upload it afterwards, under the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.